Edmund followed up, punching the exposed throat area he'd just created. The disgusting crunch caused the girl to shut down and slouch. She still remained standing, even in death, due to the massive steel blade pinning her to the wall. The weight of
Hello, I have two Uber's pickups. Both of these.
Yeah, completely order free.
the edge of the steel to slice in deeper and exude a reservoir of red that one could have showered in. Edmund shifted his attention back over to the chef. He could still hear a faint sobbing trickling out from the fast streaming flaps that separated the kitchen from the dining room. He laid, holding his leg on the checkered tile floor, while Edmund stepped inside. The chef glared up at him and spat while cursing in his native tongue. Edmund grabbed him by the neck and arched his back over the sink so his head was still facing him. The chef seemed like he might pass out from the suffering he was overcome with. Eyes of oil that remained on the stove beside him. He gazed down into the still sizzling and popping overused fluid. Drawing the wok closer to the chef, he sloppily dumped the fine stream into his mouth, much of which seemed to run down him before it started making his face smoke and blister. Layer upon layer would burst through. The lighter skin had transitioned to a raw and painful red. He gagged and choked as Edmund continued pouring the rest of the lava like lubricant. Most of the flesh had been burned off his mouth when Edmund reached for the second pan. The chef had ceased any movement, defenses were down, and his breathing was faint. These factors made it easier for him to pour the entire additional pan down his esophagus with almost no spillage. On the second run, it scorched far down into his throat, eventually burning a gaping hole into the back of it. The oil that leaked from the freshly singed opening drizzled out slothfully into the sink below him. Edmund lifted the chef's lifeless body and tossed it on top of the lit grill before exiting. He left the kitchen to the stomach-churning sound of human skin searing behind him. When Edmund was finally finished with the Tokyo Express, the interior looked like almost every inch had been decorated with the most...
What YouTube needs to do is they need to put a translator in the chat, right? So, like, if I put a translator in the chat, what anybody writes in a different country, basically, um, it will translate it, and then if they have the translation, I can write back in my chat of what I want to say to them. Like, you know, maybe one day I could talk, and then it would just automatically, like, they would just hear it in their language, but I would probably have to type, and then it would just translate to what I'm saying to them. But hello, how are you doing? Very nice. Appreciate you being here. Tonight is Friday night. I am in the DMV area, and I am doing Uber Eats. Oh snap! Hold on, I think I completely hold on. I missed the apartment. Do you speak any other languages? So are you from France? Oh, that's not France. That's you're from Russia. Cuz your flag is white, blue, and red, and I think theirs is red, white, and blue. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe over his delivery. Right? See, I'm on like a main street. This is the person's place here, but I can't. Like, I'm not supposed to be parked here. Josh P. Hopefully, this might be him right here. Not him. Yes. Is there somewhere in front of us? Like, this person right here. So I'm writing to this customer, right? It's like, look, this is what I be talking about, right? There's no parking out here at all, right? The police just came by. Was like, you gotta leave, right? There's no parking out this place, right? This is where the person lives, right? And I'm like right at a stop sign, so this is like really messing up traffic. And like people don't understand is you want me to Hey, is this Justin with Uber? Go to the parking garage. It's not gonna let me go up to your building. Like the only way for me to get into your building is to go to the front of the building. And just like I said, it's like I just had a police officer tell me that I need to leave because I was in Cool Park. But me trying to get into the front door, he came by. It's like I'm really blocking traffic. Um, so
If you go in the parking garage all the way to the back, there's an elevator there. You can take that. Or I can meet you out front if you want.
if you can't keep me up front, because don't I need a code or something to get into the elevator? I don't know if it was this building. I think I tried before, but it won't give me access.
Yeah. So I'll just meet you out front. How about that?
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like, and the thing is, it's not even that. Hold on. He doesn't even say that in his, like, you know what I mean? It didn't even say anything. Like, I don't know. This is the stuff that I talk about with Uber Eats. Um, like, I'm just gonna show you, right? Let's look at the traffic. It's freaking dangerous. Like, I can't just leave my car here, which is understandable. And if you look at the time, I've only been out here 8 minutes, right? I've been out here 8 minutes. Um, if I drive into the parking garage that he's talking about, I'm pretty sure I can't access this building. What I'm gonna do is after this, we're gonna drive over there and I'm gonna see if I can get into his building. Because it wouldn't make sense for me to be able to access this building like that, because that's like a security breach, right? Like, what's the point in having a key fob and security here if I can just go into the parking garage in Harris Teeter and then enter their building? And I'm pretty sure I came here one other time and I couldn't get in. We'll see. Okay, hold on. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. He's coming out. Have a good day. All right, we're gonna see. He's okay. So this is what I want to do too. I gotta do this real quick. Damn it. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying to take a photo of how this looks, and then I'm gonna call support, and I gotta report him because I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna report me. I can't have that. You feel me? Because what he's gonna do is she's like mad, and this is what these people like. Like a lot of people like just shows you how evil and bad people are. It's like motherfucker, I legitimately drove, picked your food up, and they brought it to your house, and you're mad that you gotta fucking come down an elevator to come get it, right? Like what? Is that really that big of a problem? Because there's no real parking outside of your place. You bitch ass motherfucker. You should have been down here waiting for me when I got here. When you know there's no parking. Or fucking tell me, hey, in the directions, come in the fucking parking garage, go to the back elevator because you can't park out front. That's the genius thing to do. But no, you got a fucking attitude fucking problem, because really I'm not gonna say what I want to say because you know who you are. You know what type of people you are. You're with the people that ruin this world. I know, take photos of this shit, right? I'm taking photos. This is what my car is. And I'm showing you how it's blocking traffic. I'm at a stoplight. I'll show y'all too.
Hi, thank you for calling Uber support. Please note this call will be recorded for quality and training purposes. It looks like your current live order. Is that? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Before I connect you, please say your date of birth for verification. For example, say January 1st, 1975.
September 15th, 1984.
Got it. September 15th, 1984. Please stay on the line, as we will connect you to the next available team member.
Hi, this is first calling Uber support. My name is Sorry. How can I help?
Yeah, there's like several things that I need to report, but I'll go with the first thing. I just picked up an order from Super Chicken, and the first drop off location that I had was at 301 South Maple Ave. And it was an apartment complex. And I think the person, I forget what their apartment number was, I think it was 801 or something like that. But I took pictures of all of this as well. But basically, when I arrived at the person's house, I texted them that I arrived. And this place had no parking out front at all. It was like an apartment complex that you have to like in the lobby. There's no parking out front this street as well. Right? It's a very, very busy street, and where the front door is, there's like a traffic light that's right there that's backed up. So when I first got there, I kind of double parked to begin with, but cars were already like filling up behind me and having to get around. It was like a big, it was like they didn't respond right away. So as I'm doing this, right, and I'm like, all right, I'm just trying to get in contact with this customer, and then I'll move. And the officer was like, okay, and he keeps driving. So I finally get in contact with the customer, but by this time the timer is almost up, right? So instead of him being like, hey, I know that there's no parking outside of my building, I'll come down to get the order. He now tells me I need to drive to a parking lot that's around the corner, and then I need to take 2 elevators up to get to his building and drop the order off. When in reality, he knows that there's no parking out in front of his building. Either he needed to get those directions in the notes from the beginning, or he needs to come down and get his order, right? Just because you order food and you do stuff doesn't mean that you have complete control over drivers and you can control what we do. Now, if I had just gotten out of my car and parked there and went up, I could come out, my car's towed, I could have gotten a ticket or whatnot, and that person wouldn't care, right? They got their food, it's on them. I mean, you know what I mean? It's on me, right? So when I was like, well, can you please come down and get your food? He had kind of an attitude, right? So that to me was already like, I feel that those type of people, he's going to try to like, he's going to give me a bad rating for something that was really out of my control. And then also I had another order that I needed to drop off, and I've already spent a long period of time dealing with this customer, and it's not fair for the next customer. So what happened is that happened last night, and it hasn't changed in my system at all upon a checking today. So last night I received a double order to pick up at a pizza place. It was actually like, it was for pizza, but it was a place called Wings and Wings, or Wings and something. And upon driving to the location, I needed to get on like a highway, but the way that the directions was taking me, that street was blocked off, right? So I couldn't take that right. So I tried to drive around and find like a detour, and I couldn't find it. So I drove all this extra mileage not to be able to find it. So I finally called in and talked to a support person. That person was like, yo, we can just cancel the order. I said, well, I would like to try to give this person their food because, you know, they ordered it. So they called the customer, and the customer basically helped me navigate to get to their place. But I ended up driving an extra 20 something miles for the trip that was supposed to be like added to my account, if that makes sense. I was supposed to call back in. They were supposed to put the information in, and then that money was supposed to get added to my account. It still hasn't been added to my account. So they said I need to talk to supervisor.
To them. Okay. Stay right here. Please connect you with the director.
All right, thank you. Yeah, pick up from Madison. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Have a nice night. You said what?